Now let's look at how McKinsey & Company revolutionized grocery shopping. McKinsey & Company, guiding a grocery retailer chain to improve store layouts. The following is a case from McKinsey & Company. This revolves around the approach adopted by McKinsey towards helping a grocery chain retailer improve their store formats. Let's understand what was the challenge that McKinsey was trying to solve. A leading grocery retailer was seeing decreased growth and revenue decline at most outlets. Growth from opening new stores was unlikely because the company had outlets in most localities in the city. The company was not looking at moving to new cities or countries either, since they were not sure if their business model was strong and robust. The grocer was also facing pressure from new grocery retailers, which threatened its market position. Executives at the company asked McKinsey to suggest and implement strategic changes for better profits and market position. Let's look at the McKinsey approach adopted to revolutionize the grocery retailer's operations. To explore potential options, the McKinsey team worked closely with the client on research and analysis. McKinsey has an approach to help brands maintain their brand value and position. This was used to tackle different problems they discovered with the grocery retailer's business model. They started with analysis of the factors that were limiting growth for the brand. They analyzed which were clients' stores' locations and equipment in different stores. They then went on to look at other grocery retailers in the same area that would be giving them competition. What were the strengths of these stores that our client could also mimic? What were some weaknesses of those stores that our grocery retailer can work on and develop? It is important to understand the user experience at the store. How people feel about the vibe inside the store. How accessible is the store to users? Is the checkout process easy, and are they able to find parking? These may seem like trivial things, but can greatly impact how a user feels inside the store. Hence, McKinsey conducted various interviews, shop-along sessions, and focus group studies to understand this. Focus group studies are a market research method that brings together 6 to 10 people in a room to provide feedback regarding a product or service. All of the above factors will determine what can be changed about the store to encourage sales, right from location to store layout and experience. All of these factors are studied. The next step is looking for new opportunities. The next step for McKinsey was to identify occasions where the grocery retailer could innovate. Cluster analysis is the main technique used for this. Cluster analysis is often applied to very simple things without us knowing it, such as food groupings at the grocery store. It is used to discover the hidden structures or relationships within data. This was done to identify new shopping occasions and experiences for their target audience. The last step was to ensure that the economics for the grocery retailer became more profitable. Hence, based on the above analysis, the improvements identified are evaluated for costs and profits. Some important metrics that are taken into consideration are capital expenditure analysis, gross margins, and operating costs. Capital expenditure, commonly known as CapEx, is often used to undertake new projects or investments by the firm, such as property, buildings, an industrial plant, technology, or equipment. We are sure you have heard about gross margin, but let's rewind. Gross margin is a company's net sales revenue minus its cost of goods sold. In other words, sales revenue a company retains after all the direct costs associated with producing the goods has been subtracted. Operating costs are expenses associated with the maintenance and administration of a business on a day-to-day basis. These expenses include employee payroll, rent, office supplies, utilities, marketing, insurance, and taxes. Building on the opportunities that were identified, the McKinsey team helped the client define new store formats. The idea was to showcase clearly the products that customers were looking for and encourage them to purchase more. The work included redesigning the grocer's offer and adapting new outlet features such as store design, Wi-Fi networks, and better space allocation for customers to move around. You know what the impact was? The client successfully piloted the new store concepts. The new formats, created by converting existing stores, showed sale increases of up to 20 to 40%. The executives were quick to replicate the success story to other stores as well. This was one of the many examples of how consulting firms help to turn around operations and strategy to drive efficiency and profitability for clients.